A senior medical officer ushers us into Defense Wellness Center.
Morning, madam. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Welcome.
Colonel Obadiah Yator. A beautiful landscape that is soft to the eye sits well with Kenya Defense Forces colors. Located inside Langata Garrison, formerly Langata Barracks, the serenity and quietness in this facility are considered catalysts to quick recovery for ailing military servicemen. The facility was set up to take care of soldiers' medical needs. Orthopedic conditions, eye problems, hearing challenges, and all manner of medical conditions are handled here. When Kenya joined the US-backed war on terror in Somalia, it was seen by many analysts in the region as a moment for East Africa's biggest economy to showcase its dominance on the battlefront. Well, Kenya prevailed on many fronts, but this came at a price for the nation. While KDF is credited for inflicting heavy losses on the enemy, it also suffered deaths and injuries. While the most obvious injuries are physical, the mental health of survivors of this war has been falling, and casualties are many, yet least acknowledged until now. This is why the government is now mitigating these effects, with the first step being this wellness center, which has a mental health unit. The top-tier military health facility with 100-bed capacity was launched by the fourth president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, in 2020. But before we get in, Colonel Yator shows us an overview of different sections and parts of the hospital.
As you can see, this is where we have the outpatient. This is where we are. Then on the left side, we have the mental health unit. Then we have the orthopedic and hearing unit and also physio. Then here we have the single rooms where patients can be admitted on while in the ward.
After the brief introduction on what to expect, we now get the privilege of seeing exactly what the facility offers.
Every department is like a one-stop. You can actually, like when you go to mental health, you'll be able to get a psychiatrist, psychologist, counselor, social worker, and occupational therapist.
Our first stop is at the unit that handles mental health problems. From the front lines, soldiers often suffer post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. Here, patients are engaged in indoor games as one of the ways of coping with their situations. But the care goes beyond the physical activities.
As you recover, when you do exercises, the medication are actually metabolized easily and it can actually be able to help you to recover faster. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And some medication also requires you to sweat so that you can excrete, so that all the toxic part of the side effects can be excreted and you live a well-relaxed life. This is a facility which actually is able to provide care in a very deliberate manner, in the sense that when they come here, we normally give them enough time. They can stay even for 3 months, they can stay even for 6 months, until such a time when we feel that they have now recovered. And in this case, we also do reintegration to the families and to the units. So while they are here, we normally invite the families. And the families come here, we have what is called group family therapy, and even couple therapy, where we invite the spouse if they are married.
The facility has a seclusion room, commonly referred to as a strong room, calming room, or de-escalation room. The rooms here are padded to create a safe environment that completely shields patients from outside distractions. This facilitates deep relaxation, soul-searching, and self-discovery.
You can still communicate while here with the nurse at the reception. As you saw, there is a CCTV which can be able to actually inform what the patient is, how the patient is doing here. So this is a facility whereby we are not sedating our patients who are aggressive. We keep the medication, they remain here. This place is padded, they cannot get any injury.
Besides the wards, patients have a garden where they relax, engage in outdoor activities, while some just bask in the sun.
As you can see, the surrounding is actually reinforced with some roads. It's not like being done with a wall. This is to say that they can actually be able to see outside. They can be able to relax and see people coming from the main gate. When we have sessions too with group therapy, they can come here. Like when they are they have taken some topics which they want to present to their colleagues. This is where they present sometimes.
Mental health is a topic shunned by many societies. In the Kenyan military, things were equally different until now.
We have what is called reassuring them of confidentiality. And apart from that, we normally have these programs called mental health awareness, whereby units actually are able to have any other time to be able to pass the issue of mental health awareness. This is to help people remove stigma and be able to appreciate that mental illness is just like any other illness.
Professionalism is highly valued and upheld.
You maintain confidentiality. And in this case, the confidentiality I'm talking about is you reassure the patient before even you start a session that what we are going to discuss will remain between me and you. And if there is anything I'm to share with your commanders, I should be able to inform you so that we see how we can package. And anything I will share to your commander is only for administrative help. So this patient will be able to understand that you are not doing an investigation, you are not victimizing, but you are trying to understand their situation and help them to explore their issues and be able to come up with possible solutions.
Assisting affected soldiers by treating and nursing them to full recovery where possible is the key value of this facility.
Once you are unwell, also with mental health, there is change of behavior. So you find somebody already they are not in good terms with the family members, either the spouse or even the extended family members. So by the time they are coming here, already there is a marital conflict or there is a family conflict. So once they come here, we provide treatment, and in the process, we invite the family. As I was telling you, we do what is called couple therapy and also crew family therapy, where we invite all the family members who the patient feels that they can be able to provide support. And in this case, the sessions now will be conducted in a way that they are able now to link up with the family. So at the end of the day, even if there was a marital conflict, they're able to come together. Even if there was issues to do with family, extended family conflict, they're able to come together.
The hospital has 8 departments specifically built and equipped to address the needs of ailing soldiers.
We got our referral already after being stabilized. So we don't deal with acute cases, acute patients. So they come here when we are now able to plan a tailor-made treatment towards recovery, which may even take time, even like 3 months. So this is a visual and hearing and orthopedic department. It's actually where patients get support with issues of assistive aids like limbs, and also if they have a eye problem, they can be given support. Also the hearing problem, it can be sorted from this place.
It was feared before that when a soldier gets hurt in the line of duty and is mobilized, they are rendered useless and in some cases abandoned. But now with this facility, injured soldiers are retrained and posted to various stations where they continue being productive.
Also, we have what is called cross-training. Like you are injured and you used to be, let's say, an infantry person, or even you used to be somebody who deals with these mortars, and now you are not able to go back to the original activity. So in this case, we will be able to advise which activity you can be able to handle well, including maybe clerical work, or even being a telephone operator, or even being a messenger within an office. We have a sitting as multidisciplinary. We identify the limitations, and we identify also the strengths of that patient, because every person has some strengths. So in this case, we are able to identify what can we be able to, the resources that this patient has have in terms of being able to function. And then now we can advise the commanders in the unit.
Warrant Officer 2 James Kamau, an orthopedic technologist, has perfected his art of making prosthetic limbs and orthotic appliances.
We get referrals from consultants who send them to us. We custom make those appliances for them. Currently, we are fabricating them for soldiers and their legal dependents.
Having equipment to produce orthopedic appliances is a relief to the defense forces, as most soldiers in need are now able to get assistive aids without unnecessary delays.
When we were getting them from other suppliers, they go have their measurements taken, and it will take days. And there are those processes that are gone through when processing payments. So the process will take longer. So with this facility, we take the measurement and we are able to produce them as fast as possible.
While touring this facility, I bumped into Warrant Officer 2 Rose Adongo in one of the male wards. She's a nurse at the Defense Wellness Center.
We have orthopedic patients, we have neuro patients, and we have those patients who have spinal injury, and those who have amputees. So here we have hygienic bath, which is this. It helps us in supporting those patients while taking bath.
This facility does not admit every sick soldier. Patients are carefully identified from Defense Forces Memorial Hospital, where most sick soldiers are admitted and later referred here for specialized care.
Where we provide services to deal with patients who have bone problems, that was orthopedic, hearing problem, ophthalmology problems, problems to do with also, if they have lost their limb, they can be provided with a prosthesis. Prosthesis is an assistive aid to compensate for the loss.
Most patients admitted here are not bedridden. They can easily walk or do most of the physical activities on their own.
Every unit has a medical reception station or a facility almost like a dispensary in a routine setup. Now, these areas, they are able to give primary health care, but in case there is need for referral, they refer to the regional hospitals. As you saw, of late we have a regional hospital in Nairobi Regional Hospital, we have Isiolo Regional Hospital, we have Eldoret Regional Hospital, Garissa Regional Hospital, and Marsabit Regional Hospital. And in this case, we have also other trauma centers like Wachia and Manda. So these patients, at the end of the day, they are referred to Memorial. Now, when they go to Memorial, Defense Force Memorial Hospital, they are able to be seen by respective consultants. Now, these respective consultants will be able to see the needs, specific, which this facility can be able to provide. And now they will refer here, and this is the time now we will be able to start our journey of rehabilitation and even providing that treatment.
The other department is the physiotherapy section.
This is where we treat our patients who have come with the physical deficit or physical impairments.
Captain Eugene Makoha, who is also a physiotherapist, is in charge here.
For soldiers, of course, in rehabilitation, we want to give our best. We want to make this patient be reintegrated back, both to the community and to the workplace. So we want this patient to be functionally correct, so that we can use this soldier can be used in his work, or can also perform his daily tasks in a very comfortable way. We give our best. Sometimes we acquire 100%, sometimes just below 100%. Because in rehabilitation, sometimes physical rehabilitation, you may sometimes not achieve the previous functions as they were. But we try to give our best. When the patient has now become stable on an even surface, we go now to train to walk on uneven surfaces and uphill and downhill. Because a patient will not only be walking on flat surfaces.
A neurological gym is also housed here. Senior Sergeant Benson Mwalimu operates as a physiotherapist and deals with patients with neurological issues. A patient's condition is first assessed before treatment starts. It is mostly based on physical exercise.
This is our robotic machine, which our patients use. Patients who have impaired lower limbs, they cannot do anything. So we do actually, it is just like doing passive physiological movement, and we do it on our machine. So our patients benefit basically on this in terms of to re-educate their muscles, 1, 2. Another one is to increase their circulation. People who are not, they cannot walk, so circulation is impaired in them.
Physiotherapists are important to the forces.
Our role is important to KDF soldiers because we are helping them with their physical deficits to at least gain function back to where they were. And eventually they are able to be reintegrated back to work and back to their families.
What about soldiers who are unable to go back to their normal functions due to disabilities suffered while on national duty?
Yeah, we normally have a very structured way of compensation. Like if you are on duty and you get injured, some assessment will be done and then a compensation will be given to you because we have an insurance. We have also a facility where it provides medical care even after retiring. So for those who are almost retiring, they are able to go into what is called Defense Forces insurance scheme, whereby you can now be able to continue with the same care even after retiring. And for those who have injured and who have gotten some injuries and they are able to go back to work, assessment is done, and then some allocation in terms of being able to be compensated is given, even while you are still serving.
Patients here also get to enjoy love from their family and friends, as the hospital has set aside a family day every end of the month. On such days, the sick get to freely interact with their loved ones. Children get time to play as adults mingle. The facility not only takes care of those in uniform, but also their dependents, including relatives and their children. This enables soldiers to work with a peace mind in the knowledge that their loved ones are guaranteed excellent medical care. Interestingly, all medical practitioners here are soldiers.
Our treatment model is based on adapting the environment to fit the task or what the person who has challenges does every day. For example, in children, we will use play as a form of therapy. In adults, we use the activities, we adapt our treatment models into activities that this person who has disability does daily, so that he can work to achieve their independence.
Children with neurological and developmental disorders are well taken care of in this unit, as their parents take care of the nation's security needs.
We have sensory integration and speech therapy section where we manage, we rehabilitate children who have, where we rehabilitate special children who have, especially children with autistic spectrum disorder, attention deficit and hyperactive disorders, and speech therapy. So our main effort is to make sure that we bring them, we facilitate normal development so that they can be able to engage in the activities of children, which is mainly play and school going.
The occupational therapy department is the last call before a patient is granted a clean bill of health. Here, one's abilities to perform normal tasks are tested. Simple functions such as opening and turning doorknobs, identifying different shapes and colors, and other strengths are confirmed before a patient is discharged. Such small tasks may look normal, but to a soldier heading to or coming from a conflict zone, these motor functions must be tested for assurance.
Core in rehabilitation in the center, and the department mainly treats or rehabilitate adults and children who have had disabilities or psychological challenges following trauma, congenital, those who are born with disorders, those who have psychological issues, and those who have had disability following other diseases like stroke.
The military is an institution of dependence and interdependence. It is a seamless but symbiotic lifestyle and order which follows rules and norms created and followed for decades. Thus, before going back to the community, soldiers must be armed with the skills of reintegration. This home setup in the occupational therapy department comes in handy.
We have a dining area, we have a bed, we have a couch, we have a wheelchair, and the patient is taken through training of actual situations that a patient is likely to meet when he's discharged from the center. So we will take them through this training. Once we are certified that they can be able to be independent in their homes, that's when they are discharged. And it's out of that ideal training, we can also establish the level of independence that a client has gained, and then we can recommend to the chain of command where this person requires to be retained in a new vocation or to continue with what he was doing before.
While at it, the Defense Wellness prefers not to decombat their patients while undergoing treatment.
We encourage them to remain with a combat. So in this case, even the personnel who are serving them, like giving care, are already in combat. So in this case, when they are here, you'll find that somebody has been in a certain activity, like in a certain assignment, where in combat. So the moment they are able to see their colleagues in combat, and even those who have recovered coming back to say hi to them in combat, the recovery process is much faster, and even they will be able to appreciate and acknowledge that going forward, they will be like them in terms of recovery.
There you have it. Now at least you have an understanding on why soldiers have their own hospitals. My name is Beldine Oleola from Langata Barracks, Nairobi.
KTN News. Get the whole story.